Nigel.
This boy is electric.
No, I'm totally smitten by this now. So Clubman was a nice little dream, but I think you've got to go with the future, and that's electric. So here we are.
Here we are indeed. Good morning, everyone, from Cracker and myself. What on earth am I doing here with Cracker up in my face? Well, Susan is off on her first electric car journey on her own to go way beyond the range of the car. She's gone in the Mini Electric. She's doing about 110, 120 miles down to see a friend, and then obviously the 120 miles back, etc. So way beyond the range of the Mini. As I've explained in videos before, the Mini's just a pain with these sort of things and adds anxiety to you, because we set the sat-nav for where she wanted to go, which was 86 miles to Gridserves. So we've chosen a charging spot for her, the most reliable, the best charging spot around. Pretty much because it's open 24 hours, they've got people there, there's lots of chargers. She'll get a charge, guaranteed. So that's where she's heading to. It's half an hour out of her journey. If she was just driving where she wanted to and drove the full 110 miles, which she could do in the Mini, she would get there without having to charge. But because she's choosing that charger, it's actually half an hour out of her journey, out of her way. It's not quite many miles out of the way. I think it's only 4 miles out of the way, but because it's slower and it's off route, it does add half an hour to the journey, plus a bit of charging time as well. So it's 86 miles, and when we set sat-nav in the Mini says 86 miles of range. I mean, how stupid is that? It starts with 116, set sat-nav, and it knocks 30 off. So it gives you anxiety to start with. And that's the point of this video, not just to say that Susan's off for a drive to Gridserve today. Keep the roads clear, please. It's about anxiety. It's not real, and I've said it before, it's not a problem. You do get used to it very quickly, but here we are, an electric car family since 2018, and Susan is still only now on her first journey out on her own, needing a charge longer distance. And she is anxious. She's anxious about what miles per kilowatt hour do I need to aim for to make sure I get there safely. Can I use the heater? And can you believe, I mean, she's used to driving a Mini because she had one just a month or so ago and has now swapped to the e-Golf. But she wasn't familiar with the sat-nav. She'd already adjusted to the Golf. So just had to re-familiarise herself with all the controls in the Mini. And I know some of you are probably saying, well, why didn't she take a Golf then? Well, basically it wasn't charged. She's been using it during the week and it wasn't 100% charge. I did ask her, would she like to take the Golf? Shall we charge it overnight? Actually use some grid usage to charge it. I was quite happy to do that. Obviously, take which car you want. But the answer was no, she wanted to go in the Mini. I'm not quite sure why she wanted to go in the Mini. So I think she's testing herself, pushing herself. But there definitely was anxiety this morning. There definitely was nerves. She was like wandering backwards and forwards and looking a bit dazed and wasn't quite with it. Have I got all the charging cards with me? Have I got all the cables? And I took out the 3-pin granny charger and left it in the back seat of the car for her, because when she gets to a friend, she is going to plug in as well to make sure she's fully topped up. Hopefully she can just drive straight home, depending on how confident she feels after this trip down. So it's a funny thing, isn't it, that it's not really real, because of course you can charge. There are lots of chargers. Of course there's space. But you do have this problem about, well, where are they? Where are the chargers, and which ones do I want to aim for? Do I want to aim for that Osprey charger, which just has one charger in a pub car park? Or do I want to aim for that Shell Recharge, which is 10 miles out of the way, or the Gridserve, which is 4 or 5 miles out of the way? It's, how do you know where do you want to go, and all these complications? It's a shame that it's not as easy as it is in a Tesla. So all you Tesla owners are probably going, oh, it's not a problem, because one, you've got a lot of range to start with, and two, the sat-nav just directs you. It makes it really, really easy. And yeah, what a great system that is, really, having enough range and having enough chargers that are easy to get to. But only on the motorway areas, the rural places, Tesla doesn't have the chargers, so you do have to go out of your way sometimes to get those chargers from Tesla. But then again, if the Teslas stick to the motorways and where the superchargers are, then they won't be where we want to charge, so that's all good news. This is Cracker's normal position. When Mummy goes away, he misses her and pines, so he's happy to have a cuddle and get all close and huggy, aren't you? Because you're worried about her. So my usual position will be on the phone, looking at Google Maps to see where she is, and if only I could have a remote view of seeing what the efficiency is. And I guess once she's settled down into the drive, she'll probably give me a phone call anyway, give me an update. But I'm sure some of you will be screaming at the screen, why on earth did you buy a Mini then? Why on earth did you buy an e-Golf with a low range if you're going to get anxious like this? And it was only... it was only the other night I was sat down talking to Susan saying, are you happy with the e-Golf? Should we have bought an e-Nero or a Cupra Born or any other car with a better range to have avoided this? Because we've done a few trips lately where we've gone beyond the range, and we're doing more and more of it. So I was asking her, was it the right decision going with these lesser range cars? Are you happy that you've got the better car that you like and that suits you better than some of these other electric cars you don't like the look of, don't like the feel of, and I don't know, just the size and proportions, all those sort of things. She doesn't like all the others. So is she happy having the lesser range car that she prefers the look and feel of? And the answer was yes. The answer was a definite yes, that's what she wanted. But here we are on one of those 10% days, 5% days, where we're doing something which is an inconvenience. And now it's going to really come home, I suppose, to her that this is the consequence. It's been easier when the consequence is on me doing the planning and the charging and all those sort of things. Now the consequence is on her because she's actually having to do the drive and think about where am I going to charge. So fingers crossed it all goes well. Fingers crossed the little bit of planning that we've done in advance all works out smoothly and there's no delays and there's no diversions. But if you're heading towards Gridserves Braintree, say hello to Susan in the black Mini. Hopefully she'll be there by, what time is it now? 8. Hopefully she'll be there about 9:30 to 9:45, that sort of time. But it is a good opportunity to rethink about the car that we have, the range that we have, and are we happy with it? And it'd be really good to see Susan's reaction afterwards to see whether she's got over some of those range anxieties or she comes back saying, I'm never doing that again. I'm getting rid of this. I want, whatever. It'd be interesting to see what the reaction is. And fingers crossed, it's a smooth journey. Fingers crossed, there's loads of range. Fingers crossed, the charge is extremely smooth. The last fingers crossed is that she gets a charge at a friend's on the granny charger, and that adds enough to get her home safely without having to bother too much about chargers. I'm hoping that she gets way more than 4 miles per kilowatt hour, and that gives her confidence to come all the way home without charging. Fingers crossed. Thanks for watching. Just thought I'd share the experience of Susan off on her first adventure on her own and let you know what it's really like. Yeah, there is anxiety around driving an electric car and the charging and all the issues about will it work when I get there? Will it be free? As in free and available, not free in cost. Will the card for payment work? And that's why the Gridserves one is just such a great first charging location. It's pretty much guaranteed. I can't imagine a scenario where Gridserves won't get her a charge. And there's people there to help if she struggles with anything at all. And she knows that because Charlotte works for Gridserves at Gridserves Norwich. So we know what the Gridserves gurus do. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. See you again soon for more videos about electric cars and our journey, home storage, solar panels, all those great things. See you again soon. Bye for now. Oops. Cracker, you going to say goodbye? Oh, that is all the data. Say bye. Take care. See you again soon. Bye for now.